You know, what's in a name? Sometimes it tells you everything you need to know. Other times it's a complete and total misdirection. And in music, well, that misdirection can be a weapon.
Okay, so let's dive right in. The artist is called Disco Tobacco. The song? Yeah, I Got a Date with Your Mom. Just based on that, you're probably expecting something kind of funky, right? Maybe a little goofy, something you don't take too seriously. And the album art, it totally backs that up. It's this bright, chaotic explosion of color that just screams wild, fun ride.
But this is exactly where the trap is sprung. Any expectation you had of some lighthearted funk just gets completely vaporized. The reality is, and I'm pulling this straight from the source analysis, a harrowing, technically virtuosic exploration of existential rage. I mean, it is the absolute polar opposite of what the name promises. And that jarring whiplash, that's the whole point.
So what is going on here? Well, the analysis calls this a Trojan horse, using this goofy, absurd name to sneak in what is actually an unbelievably dense and aggressive sonic assault. But here's the thing. This isn't just random noise. It's a precisely engineered piece of what the source calls weaponized chaos. So the big question is, how is this chaos actually built?
The analysis gives us this brilliant way to understand this collision of sounds, using a sort of cyborg metaphor. Think of the song as a complex machine. It's got a skeleton, which is its cyber metal foundation. It's got a brain, which is the complex, scary intelligence of mathcore. And then it's got a virus, designed to corrupt the whole system, break core.
So let's start with that foundation, right? The skeleton that gives this whole thing its shape and structure.
Cyber metal. Now, this isn't your standard heavy guitar sound. As the definition says, it's a fusion. You've got these super low-tuned metal guitars that create this deep, heavy rumbling sound, and then you smash that together with aggressive electronics and glitch effects. You know, that sound of a skipping CD or a digital error, but used on purpose, as a weapon. The whole vibe is cold, robotic, and just relentlessly precise, kind of like a futuristic factory. This is the rigid industrial frame that all the other chaos gets built on top of.
Okay, so we've got the skeleton. Next up, we add the intelligence, that complex layer that makes all this chaos feel so calculated and deliberate.
And that brings us to the brain, mathcore. This is the song's dizzying intellect. Its entire reason for being is to create tension and make you feel off balance through these incredibly complex and polyrhythmic structures. So what does that mean? It means you have multiple, conflicting rhythms all firing off at the same time, specifically designed to throw you for a loop. Imagine patterns that are always shifting, always feeling like they're about to completely fall apart, but somehow they're held together with this terrifying precision. It's the sound of a system just pushed to the very edge of its limits.
And now, for the final piece of this puzzle, the element that isn't here to support the structure, but to absolutely obliterate it.
The breakcore element, it really does act like a virus. The source analysis just nails it. The metal framework completely dissolves. We are talking about these super high BPM assaults, that's beats per minute, so incredibly fast, of just chaotic, chopped up drum breaks. This isn't just another layer of music, it's an infection, a digital plague that's been designed from the ground up to shatter the machine from the inside out.
So we have the skeleton, the brain, and the virus. And these three really powerful genres, they don't just exist next to each other. No, they are forced into this violent, totally controlled collision.
And this breakdown just brilliantly illustrates the song's emotional journey. It kicks off with this cinematic sense of dread, then it just erupts into this explosive rage, and then it grinds you down with this relentless, mechanized violence. And then at the climax, you get the digital deconstruction. That's it. That's the breakcore virus taking over. That's the moment the whole system crashes and all that carefully built chaos finally implodes.
So why, right? Why create something so intricate just to watch it tear itself to pieces? Because that violent clash, that collapse, that is the art. The entire purpose of this piece is the subversion of expectation itself. The joke title is the setup, the musical self-destruction is the punchline.
This quote from the analysis, it just sums it all up perfectly. This isn't just some angry music with a funny title. It's a nihilistic joke that cloaks a deadly serious artistic statement. Every single element, the name, the mix of genres, the final collapse, it's all part of this one coherent and deeply subversive idea.
Which leaves us with a pretty provocative thought to end on. You know, we're usually taught to look for beauty and structure and harmony in art. But this piece, it suggests something else entirely. What if the whole purpose of some art isn't to create harmony at all, but to engineer and then let us experience the pure, exhilarating thrill of a perfect crash.